Hi. It's been a while. Let's just say things have been crazy and I've got a lot to catch you up on. First off, don't mind my voice. Apparently I'm losing it. So, woohoo. Happens usually once, twice a year. Always in the fall. Don't know why. Go figure. But anyways, life has been crazy. As you know, vlogs have come very randomly, if at all. And I'm gonna catch you up as to why. The biggest thing is I've been learning a lot about two very important things in my life, and they have just encompassed everything, along with taking care of kids, working, all that jazz. Because becoming a mom of two is hard, but dealing with the two things that encompass being that mom of two has been even harder. So we'll start off with the first thing that has been the most hard to deal with. I can't think of a better word. Harrison is being evaluated for ADHD. That's probably the biggest reason as to why I haven't been vlogging as much. Just trying to deal with the outbursts, the temper tantrums, the everything that I didn't really realize was happening until Levi came along. And now that he's here, I'm starting to notice things are just, quote unquote, getting worse. It's taken all of my energy. It's taking all of my thoughts. Just everything I've been dealing with has just been focused on that. A couple months ago, I came across a TikTok video that talked about your toddler might have ADHD if they exhibit some of these signs, and I was watching it, and a lot of those signs were things that Harrison was dealing with. Primarily, what made me seek help out from his pediatrician was the temper tantrums, because he was having just temper tantrums galore all the time, and I couldn't figure out why. I told his pediatrician I think he might have ADHD, and he said, okay, here's a questionnaire. He gave me a questionnaire to fill out, and he told me to go get him into a therapist. So there's a lot of questions on this paper that ask about like temperament, behaviors, symptoms, things that the kids with ADHD normally do, and it asks you to rank them as, does this happen often? Does it happen never? And so there's a lot of often and very often selected on his paperwork, and then there's some that have never happened because he's not old enough to have experienced that yet. He's almost 5. Some of the things are probably more geared towards kids who are later, early teens, teenagers kind of thing. And he hasn't hit that yet, so that doesn't apply to him. But regardless, the questionnaire is filled out and it's ready to go back to his pediatrician as soon as I get his preschool. So yeah, as soon as I can get that done and in, the better. In the meantime, I have been learning about ADHD as much as I can. I actually have ADHD. I was diagnosed as a kid. I was under the assumption growing up that you kind of grow out of it and it's not really there anymore, because I always thought ADHD is just hyperactivity. I didn't realize that some kids are hyper, some kids have the more inattentive presentation, which is more along the lines of daydreaming and more internal thoughts. And so I was the more inattentive type. All I wanted to do was read books, have my squirrel moments, and my hyperactivity more manifested into, like, I pick up my split ends on my hair, I pick up the acne on my face, I fidget a lot, but not necessarily like, oh, I gotta keep moving like Harrison does. He's crazy sometimes about that kind of stuff. So I decided to buy this book. It's called Finally Focused by a Dr. James Greenblatt. And it's just a natural treatment plan for ADHD. So there's different chapters in here that talk about different things that there have been studies on that show are helpful for ADHD. So chapter 1 talks about the miracle mineral magnesium. There's a lot of information in here that states that magnesium is lower in people who have ADHD, and magnesium and vitamin D are needed to create serotonin and dopamine, which people with ADHD are normally lacking in. So increasing magnesium into the diet via supplements help the body to produce those serotonin and dopamine. Mine are supplements like this. Harrison's is gummies like this. So the chapter just talks about how if you add magnesium into the diet, it just helps with some of the issues that you could be having. So for instance, it helps decrease the amount of hyperactivity, it decreases impulsivity, it decreases aggression. And so him and I have been taking it. I have noticed that ever so slowly what I thought was postpartum rage, what probably was postpartum rage to a point, has started to go down. I don't get as angry as I used to, and I get angry all the time. All the time. And so for me, I find that it's helping. For Harrison, I'm still trying to figure out if there is anything that's happening from him. I think I notice a difference, but I don't know as of yet. So that's what I've been dealing with Harrison, and it's just been very time consuming, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully we can figure out a game plan here soon on what next steps to take. I got him into therapy. He'll have his very first therapy appointment here coming up soon, and so we'll be able to work on skill building, co-regulation skills, separation anxiety skills, things like that we're noticing he's having. And so hopefully that pans out. All right, Mr. Man has joined me. Hi. Okay. All right, now thing number 2 that I've been dealing with, I don't know if I have talked about it in my previous vlog. It's been a bit since I've watched it, but Levi has a dairy allergy. And let's just say that was interesting for a bit. It took about 2 months for things to kind of level out. When he was born, literally, like, it was probably 14 hours because he was born at, I forget the time, like 9 something in the morning. This was at like 11 midnight. The very first day he was born, he projectile vomited. He is exclusively formula fed. I decided when I was pregnant I wasn't going to breastfeed, and so we gave him formula straight from the get-go, and 14 hours born, he threw up. And I'm thinking, honestly, I was worried, but I wasn't really worried, because I figured it's just like, okay, new baby thing, whatever. It kept happening, and it kept happening more and more and more, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, he would be perfectly fine, and then he would just projectile vomit, and he would scream. Sometimes it would be a few times a day, other times it would be like every other day. It just kept getting worse and worse, and then I noticed other symptoms. But I didn't really catch on to what was going on until I started getting comments on my TikTok videos about, have you had your baby tested for cow's milk protein allergy? Because I was under the assumption that it was reflux. Harrison, when he was a baby, had reflux, and he was put on the same, I put him on the same formula that Levi is on now, and it helped out his reflux, but he was also on medication at the same time too. So I thought that all of the issues Levi was having was because of reflux. He was throwing up, he wasn't losing weight, but he wasn't gaining weight fast enough, so he was going down on the growth percentiles chart, and his pediatrician kept telling me that, you know, we won't prescribe medication because the American Academy of Pediatrics highly recommends against giving babies reflux medication because of the issues that it can cause, mineral deficiencies and things like that, which happen with long-term use of like omeprazole and things like that. So I was just like really like, what do I do? Because my baby just keeps throwing up, and I was thinking, you know, this reflux is horrible. Harrison never threw up with reflux. He spit up, but he never threw up. And so, like I was saying, people just kept messaging me, kept posting comments on my TikTok saying, look into this, look into that. So I finally looked into it, noticed all of the symptoms correlated with what Levi was having, and I decided to switch him to a hypoallergenic formula, which when Harrison was on it was like 30 bucks a can. So at the time, I thought it was expensive. This big can right here that's as big as my face is 70 bucks. 70 bucks for this. And right now there's a shortage, so it's really hard to find this formula. We go to like, I don't know how many stores just to find a can. This big can is hard to find. I can't find this one anywhere. I found this one and I haven't been able to find it since. And this was probably about a month ago. This next can size, this one right here, this is 50 bucks. This one's easier to find, but this one can also be hard. I don't have a can with me, but the smaller little 12-ounce can, 30 bucks. That one's easier to find, but even some stores don't even have anything at all. So, yay for a formula shortage. It's been difficult. And so, because of that, I have introduced Levi to purees earlier than what I wanted. I was hoping to wait until he was a little over 6 months old to show more signs of readiness before introducing him to that. But with how hard formula is starting to get to find, I'm just like, okay, you know what, we'll do purees. So we're introducing purees to him. We're doing it different than what I did with Harrison. I'm doing more of a self-feeding approach with Levi, letting him pick his own pace. So right now he is currently taking a nap, and as soon as he wakes up, he's gonna be hungry. And I'm gonna give him some bananas. I'm gonna show you that. But I think that's everything that I've been meaning to talk about. Like I said, life has just been crazy and I've just been dealing with a lot of things, and vlogging just really hasn't been the first thing that I've thought of. TikTok's kind of a little easier because I do that because I'm always on my phone. I've got my phone on me, so I can do a quick little video and upload it to TikTok, and there we go. So if you want more up-to-date things on how our life has been going, that's probably gonna be the best route to go, is TikTok. You might find a bit more there than here on YouTube at the moment. But I promise things are gonna get a little more concise here. Just bear with me. Hey dude, what you doing? Making a mess? No? Are you sure? Well, we're outside. The lovely sandbox that we have here is going away. We've had it for a couple of years and it's been nice because Harrison plays in it, but the sand gets everywhere.
But we gotta put a little more.
So what he's trying to say is we're gonna take some of the sand right here.
And put some sand in here.
And Curtis has made Harrison this little sandbox area, so we're gonna put the sand in here so that way he at least has a place to play in the sand, because then the rest of this right here is gonna be rock. Hi, Miss Guy. Hi, babies. Wakey, wakey, sleepy baby. Hi, Ryder. Watch out. Okay, little boy just woke up from his nap. Going to take the sleep sack off him. I've been keeping him in his pajamas lately because little man just pretty much got over his very first cold. Huh. It's pretty much been like a week and a half since it started, and it kicked his butt. It totally kicked his butt, but he's feeling much better now. Okay, so just, Levi, we're giving Levi baby food. We're starting the transition. We're working on a self-feeding pace. So I have these self-feed spoons that we're gonna use for him. I'm just gonna dump it in there and he just holds onto it and just mouths it away. And then I'm also gonna work on putting it in his hands and just kind of letting him just have fun with it. You can take it? Huh?
What are you doing?
Giving that to Levi. What's he getting all messy for?
I see.
Oh, right on the eyelashes. How's that taste? I put it on your fingers, huh? Yes, I just put that on your fingers, huh? Yeah.
See if he wants it.
Hi. Hi. Sorry, I had to do that.
Hey, Levi.
So the self-feeding skills are super duper messy, but he seems to be slowly getting the hang of it. I'm gonna call it good. We're gonna be done for the day, and I'm gonna go back to feeding the baby, and I'll keep you updated on how things go. So I'll see you next time. Bye.